Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we're here with the last Hearts of Iron video that's going to be on my channel for conceivably a very long time. It's really nothing to do with the game per se. It's really more to do with my general lack of enjoyment from playing it. Yeah, it's just, for a Paradox game, it's just far too samey for my like, and I think that's just the case with all of the Hearts of Iron games, to be honest with you. That point notwithstanding, I was invited into the private beta for The Great War, a World War I mod, for Hearts of Iron 4. So let's go ahead, take a look at it. As you can see, I've played a few games, well, played around a little bit. Certainly not any full games. We've got two different start dates. The 1st of May 1910 and the 1st of May 1914. We might as well just load up in the 1st of May 1910. We can take a brief look at what exactly is going on. And to get a real good sense of what's going on, we will take a look at the other countries available, but we can see the starting countries here. We've got, of course, France, the leading nation of the Entente. Freeing from the War of the Franco-Prussian War, not the War of 1870 to 1871. That would be a very poor name for a war. We got the Ottoman Empire. We've got, obviously, the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, Austria, Hungary, Russia, and the other countries. So let's take a look at the map for this mod, and we can see it's definitely got more of a Victoria 2 look than certainly Hearts of Iron 4 stock. We got the world like this. So Philippines, part of America, Austria-Hungary exists. The Balkans aren't looking crazy. We got, the Ottoman Empire still relatively big around. Obviously, all the colonies going on like crazy. So let's go ahead, load up as the Germans, because it's a World War I mod. Why not? Come on, game, you can load. There we go. So we can instantly hear that the music's changed. And I, for one, prefer this kind of jaunty turn of the last century music to, the interwar stuff. There's just something nice about, Edwardian era music. Anyway, lots have changed. This is like a full-on total conversion. Well, maybe not a total conversion, but you understand what I mean. So we can see the tech trees. We start off with horse-drawn carriages and move into motorized, and then move through the tech tree. We've got different weapon types. We got some flamethrowers down there, and little submachine guns, and better machine guns as time goes on. Obviously, some troop types have been changed because the way Hearts of Iron 4 works, there is no technical end date. So you can certainly start a game in the 1st of May 1910 and go all the way to whenever you want, basically, which is nice. I mean, obviously, the tech tree ends with all of the basic, or with all of the Hearts of Iron 4 technologies renamed, sure, but it's all there. For battle plans and the like, we start off, everyone, it appears, starts off with the Cult of the Offensive Doctrine and moves into one of three other ones, Mobile Warfare, Superior Firepower, or Grand Battle Plan Doctrines. I think that's it, right? Indeed it is. Oh no, wait, Mass Assault. So you get yourself covered with the military ideas for trench warfare, and then for the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, you can move into something more suitable. We've got a gigantic naval tech tree full of things. You can see, tons of stuff. We got dreadnoughts and battle cruisers, good old dreadnoughts, proper dreadnoughts, not just reskinned battleships. Naval ideas, airplanes, obviously, you start off with your airships being the bombers and move into strategic bombers. We got the tactical biplanes. We've got, ancient float planes that would probably be a bit of a death trap to fly. Biplanes and triplanes moving into monoplanes with accompanying, obviously, ideals. And then, of course, the engineering and industry panels as well, including things like poisonous gas, tank prototypes, torpedo-ness, and, other things. So, oil production instead of synthetic oil production. And like I say, it all folds in nicely into the Hearts of Iron 4 main tech tree. So you can continue your units through to things. We got, the civilian factories and military factories, and those things are pretty much the same. We do have the addition of trenches. So, obviously with World War I, trenches are kind of a big deal. If we take a look at the situation on the border of France and Germany, we can see that the Germans have trench levels of up to 6, and the French are up there to level 1. So, it's actually, when playing this game as the Germans, it's probably better to focus on taking out the Russians first, while you force the French to push into this location and not even bother these two minor powers. Russia first, that's the strategy for a German Empire victory. We've got, obviously, all the productions that we need to worry about. Fokkers and Zeppelins and Kraftwagen Box and artillery and siege artillery. So you got 2 different types of artillery. We can take a look at that over in the tech tree. And, the heavy artillery or the siege cannons really just stick around on into the 30s when both get folded into field artillery to fit nicely with the rest of Hearts of Iron 4. We've got, obviously, different government types. Authoritarians, the conservative coalition. So the authoritarians, they're kicking ass in Germany at this stage, with fascists and communists and democratic peoples, kind of a minority. As would be expected in Imperial Germany before the war, I would say. We've got national focuses, and all of these have been redone for, at the very least, major powers, but I would assume that they've been redone for every power. Now, the thing with this is, it's a very big tech tree, for sure. We can say we don't start getting into World War II stuff until the end, so I'm not really sure. Like I said, I haven't really played this through to the end or even the middle, so I'm not sure how the focus tree would work for a hypothetical World War II based upon the results of your World War I. Maybe it wouldn't even matter. That's entirely possible. So that's the national focuses. We've, of course, got different great people that are in here and different groups like Fokker or, Luftschriftbau Zeppelin corporations or, Opel and Daimler Motoren Gesellschaft, Blom and Voss, Kaiserlich Wert Wilhelmshaven, all great German things, Mauser and Rheinmetall, and of course, Krupp and Siemens and other theorists, military specialists. It's all been redone to fit World War I. So yeah, that's basically it. It's still Hearts of Iron, so it still plays the same, and there's nothing wrong with that if you happen to enjoy the game. It's just, after a couple of playthroughs, for me personally, it's not really my cup of tea. But yeah, so this plays out the same. The trenches obviously give you a slightly better defensive bonus than if they were not there, and other than that, it's the same old, same old. So, we get situations with fleets where we've got ridiculous amounts of battleships and things, because that's the way they were. Anyway, it's got the potential to turn into a really good mod. If you know, you want to bring the timeline back to 1910 and sort of go for your own, what was the mod for Hearts of Kaiserreich? Sort of go for your own one of those, or, you know, take the US and do whatever, or have your own Russian Empire and see if you can fight off the Russian Civil War. Things of that nature. So, yeah. That's basically all I've got to say about that, and the mod, and Hearts of Iron 4 in general. So, if you're at all interested, it's in a closed beta. For a mod, sure, why not? It's totally a thing that happens. So, if this does interest you, keep your eye open on the forums or Steam or whatever. However you go about getting your news on mods, that information is there. So I don't know when the release date for this is going to be, but it is being worked on, and there is an awful lot that has been done, and that goes into doing mods like this. So, yeah, that's basically in a short 11-minute video. I could try and pad this out, but it would be pointless, really. So, yeah, sorry if you come to this channel for Hearts of Iron 4 fix. It's just not my cup of tea. So, you know, I've tried coming up with different scenarios, and it's too much the same thing every time. That's just my biggest problem with the game. It's too much of a war game. And if you like war games, that's great. But I like my big, long, huge, grand strategy games that you can craft amazing, wonderful stories over centuries of history, and not just the Germans won World War II. So, yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thumbs up if you did. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.